Hey y'all, this is Courtney with Just Nurse Court. So I thought I would just show you a couple little things that I have going on. One of them is my canning of my spaghetti sauce. So I canned up a bunch of my tomatoes that were in the freezer. I had 13 and a half gallon baggies full of frozen tomatoes. And so I pulled them out of the freezer to empty up freezer for space. And I was able to make 8 quarts, I'm looking, sorry, 8 quarts of spaghetti sauce, 13 pints, and then 5 half pints. And then I got 4 pints of diced tomatoes as well. So I thought I would just show you. So here they are. All ready. We did this a couple days ago, and everything's sealed that I know of. I need to take my rings off and clean the jars up, and then double check all of my seals and make sure that everything looks good. And I already have that many more tomatoes in from the garden, and my garden is still full of tomatoes. So I asked my brother, I was like, do you want any tomatoes that come in? And he said yes. So it's very possible that I may have enough for him to do a little batch of spaghetti sauce. But there you go. There is my batch of spaghetti sauce. So I can't wait to try this batch. And then here is the diced tomatoes. So I don't use diced tomatoes a lot except for like soups and stuff. So I would have had a few more of the diced tomatoes, but when I was making my spaghetti sauce, when I was making my spaghetti sauce, I goofed and I added too much salt. So I put in a quarter cup for my big old batch, and then I added just a little bit more, and that little bit more was too much. So anyway, I had to use some of the tomatoes that I was planning on using for diced tomatoes. I had to go ahead and put them in my spaghetti sauce to make it a little less salty, but all is well. It worked out just fine. So let me grab my box cutter, my opener here, and we are going to open up a package that I got in from Amazon. So let me see if I can flip you guys around now and maybe set you here on the table. I don't know. Let me kind of adjust you. There. Okay. So I think you can see this, but I had a gift card to Amazon, and so I thought I had used it, and I don't know, I got it for one of the holidays, and I guess I didn't use it. And so one thing I've been wanting to do, so I'm hoping that these are all okay, is to make sourdough bread bowls for soup. And oh yeah, these will be perfect because they can so these are little 12-ounce little casserole dishes. Aren't they cute? I think that will be perfect for sourdough bread bowls. And I'm going to go ahead and just open these all up, make sure nothing is broken. I need at least 3 because usually it's mom and dad that come over for meals, if they do. So perfect. That one is good. And then here is the 4th one. Perfect. Okay, and they're dishwasher or microwave safe, but they'll be like good for other little things too. Like if I don't know what, but you could bake little casseroles or whatever. I think they are supposed to be a mini casserole dish. But anyway, so I think these will be perfect size for bread bowls because the bread will definitely probably come out over these. Like I don't know if I'll be able to bake them with the lids on, but that's okay. But I just needed something to kind of stay this shape and this size. And so I think that'll be great to put them in and then kind of have them round up. So anyway, I'll have to experiment with it because they're smaller, so I may not have to cook them as long and all that stuff. But anyway, so yay, that's awesome. I am glad that those came today, and I think those will be perfect. So to put my knife up and put my box over here by the trash so that it can go out. My other Amazon package. I ordered a new light. So my kitchen light right up there was messing up, and I think it had a short in it. And then we were looking at it. My dad was looking at it. My brother was looking at it, and then we ended up like totally messing up the light. And so I had to get a replacement one. And let me show you the difference. I think you can see. So see how that is more of like the traditional style light, and that's more of the bright. I wanted the bright light in here because my kitchen was always so dark. And so that makes such a big difference to have that bright light. So I ended up getting a new light for this one as well. And so that came too. And that was the Amazon package that was in the trash. All right. So we are going to go outside. Y'all want to see Zoe? She's sitting here in the chair. Hi, Zobels. Are you a good girl? Yeah. Are you a good girl? You gonna say hi to the YouTube's people? Yeah. You're the sweet baby. I know. You're my 8-year-old kitty cat. And I love her. Love her to death. She's ornery, but I do love her. So let me go outside. And I wanted to show you guys what's going on. It's in process, but I thought I would show you. See that pile of limbs? See that pile of limbs and all of that? And the tree that used to be right up here, there's not a lot left of it. We'll go out and get a better view of it. So it had limbs and part of the dead limb is still up in there. It's kind of the one that's hanging right. Let me find right in there. Yeah, so that part, and it was all hanging out over my yard. Not my yard, sorry, my house. I'm in my yard. And yeah, so it was all hanging out and this whole big tree was kind of over my house, and that dead limb was definitely, I was getting worried about it, and it was starting to put like a bunch of leaves all in my gutters, and it was hard to keep it cleaned. And so the guy that we know has a bucket truck, and so he was coming over this morning, and he worked for about 3.5 hours and got a lot of it done. And now he's to the hardest part, which is that part. So he probably is going to come back tomorrow. He may come back tonight, but probably not. He's older, and so he's just kind of taking it in stages, and that is perfectly fine with me. So I've got piles of limbs in my yard, and then he's also, not this tree, but this tree needs a little help too, but I think my brothers can help me with this one. But it's the same kind of tree. I think it's ash. I don't know that for a fact, but I think it's ash. And so my brother's going to cut up some of the limbs and stuff that are smaller, and I'll be able to burn it in my fireplace, because I have a fireplace and a wood fireplace, and I don't really burn a lot of fires in there, but I might start if I get wood. And then this tree here is almost, there's some limbs that are right over in here that are touching the house. And so, and you can kind of see that. So he's going to trim up this tree. Not going to take it down, just trim it down. And nothing really, none of the big branches appear dead in this one at all. So, but yeah, so this one, the bulk of it is down, but there's still a lot left. So anyway, so that's what's going on at Just Nurse Court's house. Got a lot of debris in the yard for the trees, but that's okay. Well, while we're out, why don't we just go take a little quick peek at the garden. It is still living and still producing. I've got bunches of tomatoes. That's what's really going. I don't know if my little broccolis are going to survive. So I took the little cages that were around them off, and now I can see the cabbage butterflies or cabbage moths are here, and they have eaten, and they're, so I probably need to spray a little bit of BT on them to see, but these little things are looking a little sad. So let's take a peek at the garden. Here's my broccoli plants. I don't know, I mean, they definitely have gotten bigger, but they, yeah, especially this one here, it's got a lot of damage, and I don't know, like, I'm not really seeing worms, so I'm not really sure what's getting them, but definitely something's getting them. And their little root system is not real strong. So when I took the little cages off of them, they've kind of fallen over. So they're going to have to get with it. I don't know if I need to get little stakes maybe and try to stake them up. That may be what I need to do. I'm trying to think what I could do, but maybe that's what I need to do to try to see if I can get these things to pull out of it. These are the green beans. They're definitely on the downhill side. I was just out here watering a little while ago. But green beans, I am not getting much, and probably, I don't know, I'll probably go ahead and pull them, honestly. I need to go ahead and pick my celery and dry it, because I'm just going to turn it into powder. But let's take a quick look at the tomatoes. So still a bunch of Amish paste. You can definitely tell I got tons of Amish paste, and I was out here trying to get most of the ones that were blushing, and the Amish paste have kind of come over and gotten into this tomato plant, which was supposed to be a yellow slicer. My cherries have just come back with a flourish, and as you can see, there's some ripe ones. We just came out and picked a whole bunch, so that's why there's not a ton on there. But look, you can see there's a bunch more that they were going to produce. And then this is my bed of tomatoes. Oh, I could take this one in too. I'm trying to get them as they're blushing, because my brother, there's a couple more that we missed. I can take those in, because I want to try to get them for my brother. So as they're blushing, because I've decided I don't need any more tomato stuff. So let me zoom you guys out just a smidgy bit. Just realized you guys were on the zoomed in view, so that way you can see more of the whole bed. It does have aphids. You can see that's what the little white things are, but at this point I don't really care. I've sprayed them off a lot, and so that really did make a big difference, like just with the garden hose. And so far they aren't like being overtake. I mean, they're not overtaking the plant and killing it, and even if they did at this point, like, it wouldn't be the worst thing. But I mean, I am trying to get, oh, I see another tomato in here. Let me see if I can reach it. It's itty bitty, but we'll take it because it's blushing. So tomato jungle, there's still, you know, several green ones, you can see down in there. I can't get through on this side anymore. It is now officially blocked off, but there's some green ones down there. So that's where we are. Some of those definitely have kind of died off, and I'm just kind of letting them go. I had that one week where I had 3 tomato hornworms that I picked off the plants, and then so far I haven't seen any more out here, but that doesn't mean that I'm not overlooking them. But if I don't see where they're really getting, usually I can see like where they've been. Like this is where one had been, and I'm not seeing big chunks gone as a general rule out of my tomatoes, but a little bit. So this tomato plant right here, this was this is Aroma, and it put on a first flush of Aromas, and I picked from it. And then I thought, as you can tell, that it was dying back and it had got disease. And so I continued to water it and let it go. And look at this. This thing has come back to life. And look at all of these green Roma tomatoes on it. This one has really amazed me. And then this one here has kind of done the same thing. See, there's several right in there. There's one in there that's flushing. There's blushing, I mean, not flushing. But anyway, so most of these aromas in here, this is kind of their second go around. And I'm just, whatever they give me, I'm taking. But overall, I've had a pretty good tomato year. You can see those are my Amish paste. They are just taking over everywhere. And then these little cherries, they're my favorite cherry. And if I grow cherries next year, that's the only ones I'm going to grow. And I think I will try to grow them in the tall cages next year because that's what they need. Because otherwise they just, as you can see, they're just taking over everywhere. There's some over in here. They've just gone over into my Amish paste, and the Amish paste have come across, and because I didn't have tall cages for these, and so they've just gone where they want to. And then same over here. This one's trying to go across. So anyway, overall, my tomatoes have done pretty good this year considering all things. So that's kind of the update on the garden. I thought I would just go ahead and do that and give you a little garden update while we were taking a peek at the tree. This is the okra. I've been getting a little bit. Got one there. Probably won't be ready for another day or two, so I'll wait to pick it. My mower guy is supposed to come out, so I had unhooked my hose and brought it back here. So let me close up the garden gate. And trying to do this without dropping the tomatoes. All right. So yeah, so this is the new view. That tree will be gone. That one right in there will be gone probably by tomorrow. I don't know if he'll come back today. He said he had stuff to do this afternoon and he was going to take a break, and then if he felt better, like he had relaxed enough and kind of rejuvenated, he would come back. So it's okay if he doesn't come back until tomorrow. They're not supposed to have any storms or anything like that, so it is okay. So I'm going to take you around front, but tell you, I am just going to stop the video here. We can take a peek at my green stalks. Guess we can do that, and then I'll show you the okra in the front. Really looks sick. I've got some okra off of it, but it doesn't look real great, and that's what I was just going to show you. So here's my pepper stalks. I honestly think since this tree is going to be gone, it produced a bunch of shade over the deck. So I think that the green stalks might actually get some more sun, which might be a good thing specifically for my peppers. So, but my peppers are doing pretty well. I've got some red serranos. I was thinking about maybe just making like a hot sauce or something and letting them go red. So we'll see. I'm still trying to decide, but I got a bunch of serranos. And I mean, like, I don't need to make salsa. I've already done that. And then I have got several of the Hungarian hot wax along the bottom. And then, I was going to show you one of my Sugar Rush peach peppers. I have left it on here and it's turning. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's like turning like a tomato. I was trying to get it out there where you could see it. Yeah, there you go. So it almost looks like a tomato. Isn't that's so pretty. So they're supposed to turn peach, and then that's whenever they're red. Well, not red, but like, I guess more pinky peach, whatever. I don't know what we want to call that, but anyway. Here's my herbs and my green stock. I'm setting my tomatoes down so I can talk about my herbs. the basil has come back with a flourish. So I probably will go ahead, and some of it is wanting to flower. And I've been trying to pick those when I see them. See, like here, it's wanting to flower, and I don't want it to. So I'm kind of picking those off to keep it from going to seed. And yep, like there's one in there. So I'll probably pick another round of basil, and it won't be a ton, but anyway, I'll dry it. And then I wanted to show, so my oregano has just like come back. I had cut that back, and it has really come back with a flourish. So definitely will have oregano again. And then we got the lemon balm down here, and we got quite a bunch of it. And then this is holy basil right here. It finally has taken off, and so I've got a good little amount of holy basil. This is the spearmint, I believe, and same here. This is the spearmint, and then some of the spearmint, like this one here, really, this pocket has really done well. So anyway, I think that's that almost, I think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's spearmint. This is the rosemary, and it just has not done well for me. I don't know if it's because it didn't get much sun, and it's possible, but it didn't do much. We don't really want to talk about this one. The green beans are pretty much done, as you can tell, and most of the plants have died back, and they were just a few green beans, and I was kind of waiting for them to go ahead and see. There's like just a few, and I thought, well, I'll let them go ahead and grow. So, but mostly the beans in the green stalk are done. But yeah, this is a really big pepper right here, and this is from, yeah, so this plant grew all the way up here, but it is from right down there. It is one of my let's see, this one is the Hungarian hot wax. So it grew super tall because it was in that very bottom, and it grew up, and I kind of helped support it, and it's got a nice big pepper on there. So anyway, overall, I think the peppers did really well in the green stalk, so I'm happy with them. So anyway, that's kind of a little update on the whole garden situation, and we will go out the front, and I will show you what's going on out in the front yard. Before we run outside, I forgot to check on the tomato skins. So I saved my tomato skins, and I think these might be done. I'll probably, it's Thursday, and I probably will just let them go until this weekend, and then I'll take care of them. But the tomato skins, they can be dehydrated, so that's what we're doing here, and then turned into tomato powder. And my sister, she wanted some. I have a whole little, like a almost full pint-sized jar of it. So I started one for my sister, and this was from my first batch. So I will add the tomato skins here that I dehydrate and grind into powder, and then she will get to have that one because my jar is still pretty full. I did use it just a little bit the other day, but this is my jar, and it is pretty full. So as you can see, I got a few cans of diced tomatoes. There's a few cans of Rotel tomatoes in there, but I'm starting to get my pantry more full of my jars. See, as you can tell, I've still got some things that I like. Mixed vegetables, I will probably never can mixed vegetables. I like to have them easy for soup, so that'll probably be one thing. But green beans, those are going bye-bye because I got my green beans. So And then there's these zucchini. We can't even buy these around here anymore, but I love these. A zucchini with Italian style tomato sauce. So good. So I have a couple cans of that. Carrots, diced new potatoes that I have. And then these are my canned potatoes here. I dry canned them following Ruth Ann Zimmerman's recipe. That's pepper, so that's not that they're bad. That is just pepper. I didn't think about it, and I put seasonings on them. But yeah, I canned some white beans last year, and there they are. And I have kidney beans and pinto beans. I think those are the 3 beans that I can. I like to can them. Yes, they're not that hard to. So while I'm going outside, we'll just talk. So I like to can not green beans. I like to can beans because they're not that hard to do, and then they're just ready to go. They're not hard to make other than you just have to like soak them and all that. So it's just a process. So that's why I like to do the whole canning thing. So the last time I did them, I canned them. Ooh, that handle is hot. Well, has this got locked? Yes, it did. I don't ever lock my front door. I just lock the inside, not the outside one. Anyway, what I was saying is, so I like to can beans because I soak them in the jar in water overnight, and then I will not rinse them, but drain the water off, and then I'll put hot boiling water, then in the jars, a little bit of salt, and then can them in my electric canner is what I like to do because I don't have to babysit it. So here is the okra out front, and as you can see, I've got a few more. They lost a lot of their lower leaves, and so they were really looking sick for a while, but they're kind of coming back with some leaves. But I've had several okra, but here's some little babies that probably in a couple days, and there's some back there, will need to be picked. So, and I am just dilling the okra whenever that comes in. But so that's that. I wanted to go down here and show you guys this. I don't know if it's still blooming, but it is not, but it's here. And I wanted to show you this little surprise. It was blooming the other day for me, and I was surprised. So right here, guys, this here is a snapdragon, and it was blooming, like I said, for me last week. And I was like, what is this little plant that's over here, this little flower? And looky here, this is a tomato plant, and it's needing water, but of course, I mean, it's just tiny. But so as you can see, I had some soil over here. So whenever I was starting my seeds this spring, some of those never germinated. So I just dumped the soil out right there. And there we go. Tomato and snapdragon. I'm happy the snapdragon's there. The tomato will die and it's fine. And then these little guys right here are what my dad put in here for, and I don't know, this one looks like it's actually putting on some new growth right in there. I didn't know if it would survive or not, but he put 3 of them in there, but he transplanted. These were irises, I believe. We call them flags, but I think they're irises. But he transplanted those from out on his property because so it used to be a house out there on his property, and so he decided to transplant it and put some in the front of my house. So we'll see if they take over. I definitely need a lot of help. I want to take this bush out and that bush out. These are like thorn bushes, and this one is half dead. So, and as you can see, it is thorn bushes. So I've got a lot of landscaping projects at my house, and landscaping is not my thing. It is not my jam. And the grass has just taken over in here, and it's full of rock, just like over here. Whoever lived here before, this little thing is full of rock. All that's rock. Why they put rock in here, I have no idea. And then all of this is full of rock. And then back in behind the tree that they're cutting down, all that is rock. So, yeah, this needs help course, right now I have my vegetables in here. So that's what we got. Anyway, so guys, I think that we will call this little garden tour done, because that is pretty much the updates. This is the first part of October. I think today is technically October 2nd. So you probably won't see this till next weekend, because I already have the video up for this weekend. So I'll have a new video for the next. But yeah, it'll be probably not until, oh, what is, let's see, today's the 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So it'll probably be like the 11th, 12th, 11th, I think, is probably when you'll see this. So you'll see this about a week after I recorded this. But anyway, but that's the updates for the little garden for October and what's going on in the life of Nurse Court's house. So anyway, I will see you guys very soon. And I just want to remind you to slow down and take time to enjoy the moment. Bye, guys.